That was good. I'm going to turn that down. Hold on. That was a good song. I'm taking a beautiful picture of this fallen wedge pattern because it's one of my go-to patterns. Everything worked out great with this. All right, turn you down. It's too much in the background there. All right, there's our textbook wedge pattern. We talked about that. I'm going to send down a tweet. This is just a picture perfect. We talked about two setups here. The first one was a bear flag, triple stochastic bear flag. Now remember, each one of these setups is a playbook play. Meaning that there's a criteria for an entry. We have a signal to let us know that this is a setup. So it's very precise. It has a defining blueprint to it, and you can take these trades as long as they set up properly. Here was a triple stochastic bear flag. Here was a falling wedge divergence. Two classic HPS playbook plays, and the playbook plays are your business plan. So, when you go to work, this is what you look for. Take advantage of it the next time, even if you didn't this time. Me too. I didn't take advantage of the wedge. Sometimes that happens. When I look back at it, I said that was just friggin' too easy. It's already up 3 points. That was too easy. I let that one. Get away. So. Under Armour little pop. What else we got? I got Costco. What time is it here? 11:23. 11:23. Schlumberger pushing back up. I had something I was trying to copy over here. God, the computer's bogged down. Well, you know what? I think I had another feed on. If you're out there in the interweb, and you're not on Day Trading Radio watching the show, you might lose your feed here because I'm going to cut back on some of the feeds. So if you ended up losing signal, just go to DayTradingRadio.com. You'll have a clear signal there. That's in case you're watching on like a YouTube channel or a Roku or something like that. I want to shut off some of the feeds. Let me put on a tune here while I do that. That was a good tune. That was Cake. That was awesome. Trying to close it down. It's all right. There we finally broke free. Now we should start to see our charts come back here. Boom, boom, boom. Everything catching up. Let's shut that down. So, all right. So the next thing we're going to look at here, Paul mentioned that people were asking what are the benefits of joining Day Trading Radio. That is one of them right now. You always have your own clean feed on your dashboard. Now the dashboard, I'll give you a little tour of that. I can bring it over here. No, that's the Twitter feed. I'll close some of this stuff down. The Zello off. Let me see. Hold on. You know, I did have a meltdown of my one of my monitors, so I tried to redo my monitors. Messed up my input director. It messed up a lot of different stuff. So I had to restart the computer multiple times over the last couple of days, trying to figure out why that wasn't working. All right, now Zello's on. Here is kind of a half picture of the dashboard. Well, audio controls here are very important. Here's the chat. We open that up. You go into your chat rooms. Inside the chats, you have other chats. You have the futures chat. You have an options chat. You have the main general room. You have other rooms that people make up. Underneath it, you have the trade alert box. Any of the HPS setups that trigger. All this is connected to your alert system, and you get automated emails when anything triggers and stuff. You have the RAM bot down here. You could also adjust your emails to get 5-minute signals, the divergence signals like we just pointed out to you. You know, when you have a, let me see what that is here. Hold on. And I do have the Zello on now. You can adjust these time frames also over here. And, you know, just like get rid of the 1 minute, maybe even get rid of the 3 minute. Maybe you just want to have the 5 minutes available. And then you can take a look at the our last 5 minute little divergence there was at 10:55. That's very interesting. We have a 5 minute divergence. Wouldn't you love to be able to not be in front of the computer and all of a sudden get a divergence signal here? That we're in the process of a divergence. It was probably right here. It'd probably give us that one divergence signal. Once you start to turn over, you can see the divergence right there, and it held. That divergence actually held up, came down, double tested it, put in a kind of a running divergence. But the big thing is, and we've been talking about this new, it's not a new divergence, it's just a different style of a divergence. It's only, you know, instead of making 2 stages, it's usually a 3-stage divergence, and I like to call it running divergence, or 3 dives to the bottom. And you know, there's where you have 3 lower lows or 3 triple lows, but you have a divergence on the stochastics, and that's usually a great sign. So when you had that lined up here with the wedge pattern, it's just, you know, game on. And from that point on, you know, the saying goes, show me a divergence, I'll show you the stock moves bigger and faster. All right. Well, we have our VWAP ahead of us. So we had those, and again, I was just showing you the alerts and what you get there. So you get all that delivered to you as a member. And then, of course, every week we do HPS watch list video, which is the HPS, and that's your video, and it goes back. You could look at all the archived lists. That's where you get that on the dashboard. And then, of course, our HPS list, which is our main section of the site. Members automatically get it. That has all our setups and all the alerts and all the technical charts, all written for you, and a video that goes along with it, talking about the stocks that are going to move the next week, which ones are the biggest potential movers based off of HPS. So that's it. Oh, you know what? I don't have my Zello. Zello is now on, Paul. Sorry. I had the volume off. I'm sorry. I just looked down. I said, why isn't Paul talking to me? And then there's a lot of other things here. Of course, you have access.
I've been talking to you for 15 minutes. Are you going to answer the damn thing or not?
Oh, man. Sorry.
It's all good, man. You were doing a little sales pitch. It's all good.
Yeah. The good old sales pitch. Hey, you know, that's why we are here for the members. So please support the site. Become a member. And then you were mentioning that other people. I never even got down to the packages.
So I have an email for you out there. I could read it to you if you'd like.
All right, go ahead. Johnny, we met in the Bahamas. I didn't want to tell you this.
I'm trying to do this from my cell phone here. But it says, hello, John. Became aware of your site after looking for more information regarding divergences and came across your YouTube videos.
Oh, boy.
Says, I've been watching more of your clips and I like the way that you present your information. And it's apparent that you are a divergence expert.
Ooh.
I like your HPS system, but I live in Australia and my stocks are the Aussie ASX. Do you have any other Aussies trading with you? I guess he's talking about members and whatnot. He says, I was going to trade the Forex market using the Elliott Wave strategy, and I still have a demo account. I did sign up for one of your courses, but I was a little subjective. It was a little subjective to me to understand, so I've gone back to the stock market. My question is, what is your opinion would be the best strategy? I've been trading now for about 2 years. This is my third attempt. I was looking at taking your divergence course, but will it cover enough? A few questions would be, these suggestions would be much appreciated. Kind regards. His name is John, and he's in Western Australia.
Well, wow, nice email, John. Great name too. Aussies. So we have Aussies. We have a lot of Aussies in the on the site. I mean, we could actually do a. We could probably do a search on the back end, Paul. You know, for a country and see how many Aussies we really have. But great. To the fact that he only trades the Australian stock market, what was the ASX? Is there any? Is there a way? Tell you the truth. There probably is. I don't know it offhand, so I'd have to refer back to the room. Someone maybe who was trading the. Is there an Aussie ETX or EFT? There's so many different numbers now and letters. ETF.
Apparently, Carl got an email too, Johnny. You are a parent, and you are a parent to a kid in Bahamas.
I'm a parent. I knew it. Oh man. Well, the thing is, what someone mentioned the Elliott wave theories. You could talk about MACD divergences. You could talk about Elliott wave cycles. You could talk about Fibonacci's. There's all these interesting levels. You want to make, you hope that when you have a pattern like this and a divergence set up into that pattern, you always get this move. Now, did the Fibonacci people say it was going to move here? Did the Elliott wave people make it a wave 4DC versus a 2 or something? It's all, I guess, objective or subjective. But this, going over and over and trading the market for so long, and being able to be so comfortable and confident to just trade these setups, because these are honestly they're some of the best setups that happen. Now, it doesn't work for everyone. Not everyone's going to be on that same time frame that we look at for these. Some people are hyper scalpers and trading all day, or some people are momentum traders. I'm a trader which has a kind of use this method to bring down risk, bring my probabilities higher. Have something detailed and structured in my life. I need that structure. I used to trade like a cowboy also and be all over the place, not know how many trades I even take a day. But and that was fun. That's the adrenaline rush of trading. This is trading as a business. That's where things started changing when I had a family and stuff, and it was like, I'm going to go to Spain tomorrow and trade there, and now it's a business, and trading is a business, and seeing it so organized, it's great to teach it like that. So when we have the underlying things that line up, you could say this is Nielsen. You could say it's tulips, or you could say it's the Aussie index, or the price of potatoes. The important part is the underlying indicators that are kind of telling us something's changing, and that's what we're looking for. Change is basically another word for divergence, but it could be any type of change out of the ordinary. A divergence is what we teach. The Elliott wave, I don't know. There's nothing better for me right now. Nothing has proven itself to be so reliable and so logical that it's hard to even look at other things. It's sometimes great to add. I appreciate the VWAP more than I ever did. could understand, it's more of a science to me. Understanding volume weighted averages and where most of the trading is taking place, and then you see the reaction on the chart, moving averages and trend lines, and knowing how algorithms pick apart these trend lines. You don't have to have something down saying here, but whenever that price does come down to a level where it starts from 2 pivots, lots of times you'll see it react, and it reacts again and reacts again. So these are the areas we have to pay attention to. LA wave, guys. It's always something, right? I used to make fun of it, but you know what? If it works, then use it. Take what is it? Bruce Lee is my man. He had such a great theories of growth and learning and defending, and it was all about science. Bruce Lee wasn't, he's a world famous kung fu guy, but his kung fu evolved to more of a science. The straight line theory. Everything here has, if you go wide, I'm going to go straight, and I'll beat you. And if I stop your punch, there's just a logic behind a lot of things, and that's why you get so good. Because if that logic fails, you're going to get punched in the face, and you could use that as a metaphor in the markets. So what can we trade in Aussie stocks? What's out there? We had some requests coming in for some songs also. Jordan might know. J-Dub. Oh, yeah. Jordan, I need to see your comments earlier, because that would have been a perfect lead-in too. And I didn't see it fast enough. They lined up here, but talking about Bruce Lee. And like the markets, I used to love Bruce Lee. I mean, who doesn't love Bruce Lee? Who doesn't love Chinese theme music? Tuna here saying the CBA, big Aussie stock. So again, we left off with the Neil saying we even look at turd stocks. I say turd. He said turd. I look at stocks that are just not the stocks I really want to be involved in. But if they come out with a textbook example of something that works, even in something you don't believe in, it works. That's that's whipped cream on top right there. And be able to make money on a dangerous sector, but being able to call a bottom because of a certain setup. All right, thanks, Sonny, passing that on. Aussie. All right, well, there's a couple that we have to remember. BHP. Let's go back. Now, again, it doesn't matter what we're looking at. It is, it really is about the methodology and seeing the setup. Now, we'd almost consider this kind of a double bottom. There was a divergence here. Remember, a divergence, and this was a gap up here, so I want to The reason sometimes we put in channel lines and you might not see an extension, you want to start usually with your beginning, and sometimes you get a little flush of it, but once it comes back and reestablishes it, you could go back when you're putting this together and understand that this was probably maybe a little event that happened that just flushed us through, but we came back, and now the trend line continues to show its original integrity, and that everything continues to hold up pretty good. So this actually was a nice little pullback and a divergence. And when you have a divergence, here's your low, and here's your lower low, and here's your low and your higher low. Here's your channel breakout. Here is another possible divergence. It was borderline, and if you don't have full confidence, sometimes you might, not take it. But you know what? It is obviously a pretty decent divergence, and from that point on, there. At this point, to BHP, yeah, you have to wait for the next good setup. But it's great to look back at these. That's one of the stocks. The B, and then the next time we're gonna. Oh, good, John. I think it was very close to being market cap. WBK. Let me see. That was a little loud, wasn't it? Genetic Technologies, Novagen, NVGN, Prima Biomed, Oil and Gas, WBK. Let's take a look at the WBK. All right. This eventually will set up again. This is an interesting one. Well, that's it. I mean, that's what we mean. But education, transcends all markets in all countries. I think what you could learn, even if it's not the stocks you are trading currently, to be able to see them and set up on anything, Market here is starting to gain some strength. Let's see what else we have. Come on, SRCL. Now let's go back into something we were going to discuss earlier. How to trade the tradeometer. Oh, you know what? Paul, did the tradeometer go down before? I didn't set it back up yet. I thought I was in the process of doing that. All right.
ES tradeometer overbought.
Oh, it's working. It's working. Something happened on my side. All right, so as you can see, the NASDAQ here on fire again.
YM tradeometer overbought.
It really did do well. We're starting to get a little extension here on a couple of the indicators. So we're seeing it. What we did have is a nice divergence. This was a Rambot 5-minute divergence. We make that yellow. So the new listeners out there, new members, I tried to go back and place some of the signals that are happening on the chart real time, so you can see where we concentrated on and why it should move at that point. And when we could point that out and then look back, you could definitely see there is a rhyme and reason to everything. But what's the point of this? Let's see here. So that was the low of the session. I'm starting to get a little extension here to the upside. When I say that, I'm talking about another signal. But this signal is not on the NASDAQ. It is on the S&P, which did have a couple okay signals. But the last one, when we started trending down, it got hit on this one. All right, first attempt of the 200 and the VWAP. I said, this is something I could go back and show you real fast. If I could remember, it was yesterday, day before yesterday. Lots of times we break down if we break down pretty hard into a pattern, we move up to the VWAP, we tend to react to it. So the farther we pull away from it, the first time we attempt to get back to it, usually in this case, you can see we pushed back and broke down through it that first attempt. Now I want to go back again and see if we can find another situation that the same thing happened. I could remember in my mind I wanted to continue to follow that here. It's kind of here. We did break down and we came back. First attempt, we did pull back off of. You can hear the popcorn now. I mean, it is. What I'm trying to point out is we are probably getting a little reaction off of that first attempt. The big question is, and I see people talking about Bitcoin in the room, I am, starting to pay more attention to those charts, the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrencies, the ETH, etc. So we've been tracking some of the tradable funds that track it, and I want to start doing some more chart analysis of it and looking for reversal signals. I haven't really been convinced that it's really trading off of that yet. Lots of times it's not reacting. I'm not seeing any real divergences yet, and so that's a good thing and a bad thing. I'd like to see a divergence, see everything work off it. Here's the GBTC here. Well, look at the move today. Look at the move today. Now, relative to what's happening on Bitcoin, I don't know what Bitcoin is at right now. I'll look it up for us. No U.S. brokers allow you to short Bitcoin. Nice trade there, Rocco. Rocco taking the LABU off. I haven't even looked at that. We're going to start looking at that one again. We were trading that one. We were scalping that one just a couple weeks ago. Multiple scalps a week on that LABU. Haven't looked at it since I got back from vacation. So it's down. It looks like it's down a little today. All right. So acting a little, the GBTC here acting a little bit different. I'll put the 5-minute chart on. Let me see if we can bring this over here. All right, here's Bitcoin on the 5-minute chart on the day, and it's been choppy. I'd like to look back here. Say, all right, here is a. I remember what we qualify as the divergence, the lower low and the higher low. So we do have a divergence here. We keep these things going here. This is based on 5-minute time frame. So I don't know what the spread is on that. That's the on Bitcoin. What the bid and ask is and how that plays out. So you had one there, and it's moved up off of that signal, and then we had another one here, a very minor one, but it was one. And I'm sorry for my... that's not it. I wanted to get rid of the extension here. Alright. So there was a divergence there. And from that point on, we had a nice move. And then nothing really happening there. Nothing happening here. Maybe a little divergence right now. Right here. So that's just based off that 5-minute time frame. 1 hour time frame is getting a little oversold. Doesn't look like much. Let's take a look at the 1 minute time frame. Yeah. Yeah, that was a little interesting. So the GBTC, and maybe it has something to do with the fork the recent split, and the and I didn't even follow through. Did that ever really happen? What happened? Did the people get Bitcoin Cash to spend, and that would make some other, maybe they're able to use it on these investment and other cyber currencies. So that's why these other ones are moving higher. Some exchanges. Yes, some exchange. Imagine that. Some didn't, some did. I would be in the exchange that was giving me free money. God, that's a bummer if you get caught in the wrong. Well, we're not gonna honor that split. Oh man, that's kind of funky. All right, Apple here again, so kind of sideways. We did have a nice move here, so let's go back into another segment here. Oh, you know what time it is? It's time for us to crush Jeopardy. I am going to pull it together on this one. I want to play by the rules. I'm not going to have any tantrums. I want to answer in the form of a question. And I'm going to wait. I want to only repeat up to twice. That's only sometimes I'm only going to repeat twice. If you can't, we can figure it out in two guesses. First guess, repeat another one, and then repeat another one. So three guesses. If we can't get it, we have to just go for something. You can't look it up. You cannot Google it. Please, it just ruins it. It doesn't make you any smarter. We'll have fun with it. And so no help. Only pure knowledge in this room. And our goal is to get 6 out of 6 here. All right. Alexa. All right. Play Jeopardy.
This is Jeopardy! Thanks, Johnny.
You're welcome.
And welcome, players. Good luck.
The first category is checking out all the angles.
All right.
It may look like an ordinary line, but a 180-degree angle has this name.
What is a plane?
Sorry.
Radius.
The correct response was, what is straight angle?
Straight angle.
The next category is
Oh, that was a hard one.
entertaining animals. One of animator Chuck Jones's rules for this character was no dialogue ever, except beep beep.
Repeat.
Please give your response.
Who is the
You can also
roadrunner?
say,
Road
I don't
runner.
know, to continue, or repeat, to hear the clue again.
Who is roadrunner?
That's correct.
Yes.
The third category is
I knew that.
never bored of board games. These two letters score 10 points apiece in Scrabble.
Repeat.
Again, the category is never bored of board games. These two letters score 10 points apiece in Scrabble.
What is Q and Z?
That's not it. The correct response was, what are Q and Z? The next category is
Hold it together, Johnny.
starts and ends with E.
Hold it together.
The response will begin and end with the letter E.
Do not even...
The NCAA uses this word to describe the top 8 March Madness teams.
Repeat.
Again, the category is starts and ends with E. The NCAA uses this word to describe the top 8 March Madness teams.
What is elite?
Great. The fifth category is motor vehicles. This Italian motor scooter's name means wasp.
Repeat. Vespa. Vespa?
That's right.
Yeah.
The sixth category is
Good.
which continent? The first map of this continent's full coastline was published in 1814.
Repeat.
Again, the category is which continent? The first map of this continent's full coastline was published in 1814.
What is Australia?
That's right.
Yes. See?
Let's see how you did today.
All righty. You got 4 of 6.
Ah,
You scored in the top 2% of
Wow.
players today.
they're getting harder.
Play every weekday to see how you stack up against other fans.
All right, that's good. I got robbed on Scrabble, right? Q and Z. I should have said Z and Q. What? How do you? And that was hard. I see everyone just putting these two letters in there, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Apparently, I don't play Scrabble. You guys were good help today. We held it together. I almost got upset. 12 o'clock. Oh. All right. So, use an example of we're up around 247. So this thing is only pulled back 20 cents. All right. So that's a 20-cent move. All right. This is even better. We'll call it 264.50. And it went up to 247. So it went 60 cents here. 60 cents on $246 stock. Is it worth even the trade on that? All right. There's probably other ways you get more leverage and a better trade. Let's move this one. You know, to profit from a perfect setup, and just for argument's sake, what would be the best return you could get from it? So the SPY is giving you again, what is it, 60 cents, and if we put that in terms of percentage moves, and again I'm going through this. Normally I would talk about this in a kind of more of a webinar and have the charts all lined up and everything prepared, so I have to make the charts as I go along here and show you things. So this was that SPY move, and just to kind of give you an idea of percentage wise, nothing, a 0.2% move here, about 55-60 cent move. It's about a 0.2% move. 0.2%. Remember, everything's about percentages when we're doing things. It's that's a 0.2% move, 0.2%. The not tremendous. So now what the other option is? All right, let's take a look at the option chain here. And again, you might say, well, I don't trade options. Not that complicated when we talk about the way we trade options using the tradeometer. Just a straight up trade. We're not really worried about the expiration date, the strike prices. We're worried about the strike price, but we're actually looking at a very intraday trade. We're trading, so we want to get something that's is very liquid, close to in the money, and expiring very soon. So you're actually you're not gaining any premium on that. It's a bare bones trade. So just to give you an example, at that point it was trading around 246.50. So say we were looking at the 246.50 trade here. They were trading at 76 cents, or trading at 76 cents now. At the time of the bottom here, it was trading about 72 cents. 72 cents. Not a lot. Definitely not $246. So you have to put that in your mind that you're trading a penny stock. I like to just say, all right, just pretend you're trading a penny stock. But you have the technicals of a blue chip playing out. So again, you're saying, all right, 46.50s. Maybe you're looking at this as a, and again, this is not the best example. It's probably a better example from the downside. But if you take a look at the lows here and the breakout, basically right up to where we were, that 60-cent move comes in as a 30% move on the options, which equals a 50% move on the value. On the value. I mean, because at the beginning of that, and I'm just showing you extremes here. We're talking the end of that bottom of that candle, 60 cents to whatever it went to 90 cents. It's a 50% move. That's a 50% move. You're not going to get all that. You're going to get you'd be lucky to get 20%. But that's just the beginning of a move, But that's how fast it could go. And we're not even done with this move. This could continue to move up. This can end up moving right back up. If it moves back up to $1.25, you're working on 100% gain on your money on that trade, just within the same day. Now it's definitely more volatile. It's more, you don't want to. You got to understand the risks with everything. Now, that's using the options, and then basically that was using the expiration on the August 4th. So I think that is, I don't know what today is. That's one. That's going to be Friday. So Friday expiration. If you really thought there was going to be a nice move, you could even go down to 247 calls. They were trading even cheaper. 40 cents, and it went up to about 58 cents. So same type of return, different price level, and you're not going to get the full bang for the buck there. You're going to lose on the top end. You're going to lose on the bottom end. You're going to take a little meat inside, in between, and move on. We'll leave that in the background there. Now, remember, we just had a sell signal here. So if you are holding a trade at that point, that all goes out the window once you get a signal and you decide not to take it off. You become a gambler. The problem is, a lot of people were saying, all right, I'm going to hold it here. I'm going to hold it. The battle plan, the business plan, the trading plan, says this setup is good to go until we get our opposite setup or an overbought level. And we did have that right up here. Just, you could see it right here. We had our first overbought level as it rallied up. A little pullback. It was a fast pullback. Almost qualified as a triple stochastic flag setup right here. That's how good it was, that little pullback. We rotated back real close, stayed above 80 here, or chopped around 80, stayed right on the 80 line, and that fast rotation. When we have that, that's another playbook play. So it tells you these little signals that we want to pay attention to. Bear flag, divergence, wedge pattern, continuation pattern, tradeometer signal. Everything, every point we look at during the day is an opportunity. All right. Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? Grab some rice and beans. I didn't eat dinner last night. I went to the garden, and I bought some friggin' crap food from the vendor, which I never usually do, but I was hungry. We got out of here early. Didn't have time to eat. I was going to worry about eating down there. Anyway, I didn't want to dilute my vibe with food. I felt good all night. Now it just hit me. But I bought a couple tacos there, and boy, they were spicy. I said, I can't even eat them. It's too spicy. All right. So give me 15 minutes. Maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just to go grab something, bring it back here. We'll pick it up. If you have any questions, you could fire them at me. Maybe I'll answer them on my walk. IronAction@yahoo.com or DTRS at Day Trading Radio. We'll keep the Zello open. If anything happens, for those out there who have access, feel free to update the market. I am going to play you a playlist. Haynes. Uh-oh, what's going on? What did Mr. Land say? Oh, General Mills. Before we leave, take a look at where's our Kellogg. Kellogg here. What did we? I didn't hear the news. I was just about wrapping it up. I had Mr. Land off. Something's going on here. All right, Kellogg. There's our Kellogg pop. Kellogg's starting to pop here. It's one of these. I know that we're talking about some type of packaged food, but we are getting our move now in Kellogg. Oh boy, what kind of rice? That's white rice. Kellogg here on the move. Boom, baby, here we go. Oh, I didn't get the news, though. I'm still looking for it. Hold on. I gotta fix my other computer.